Morning, everybody. This is Doug Pinter on Daily Energy with Anytime Fitness North Peoria, and I got our buddy, our go-to professional in-house, Jeff Bach. Morning, Jeff. How are you?
Well, doing well, Doug. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, no problem. I understand you got a busy weekend ahead of you. You're taking off later this afternoon. You getting outside to enjoy any of the weather?
We're hoping to. We're going up to Chicago. I hear they have things to do that are outdoors there.
I think a couple things, one or two things.
Maybe you can write it down.
I wouldn't go watch the Bears game on Sunday or Sunday night. I'm telling you that right now. That Dallas,
I'd have
Chicago?
to go to Dallas.
Yeah, you'd have to go to Dallas.
But I definitely
wouldn't right on that. Thank you.
Your point remains. Definitely don't want to do that.
Jeff Bach attorney at law, called me out on the show here this morning. So, Jeff, we're going to get into a little bit of personal injury. First, we got some news to cover. The PGA Tour down in Atlanta with the FedEx playoffs. It's coming down to a tight race this morning. Check the leaderboard. We got Hideki Matsui, Kevin Chappelle, and Dustin Johnson, all at 4 under.
Yeah.
So you got to like those odds. Someone's ringing me up here, or you. Then we got Jason Day. Good to see him back on the leaderboard. He's at 3 under, 1 off the lead. Then Spieth and McIlroy, 2 off the lead. Kuchar and Scott, 1 under. Then a couple notables, Watson at +2 and Duffner at +3. So, I mean, there's a star-studded leaderboard up there. I watched maybe 10 minutes of this golf tournament down in Atlanta yesterday. I mean, there's 512-yard par 4s. What?
That's gross, Doug. That'd be about a par 10 for me, I think.
Yeah, and you might struggle to make par.
That's what I was just going to say. The par would be a good score for me if it were par 10 even.
No offense. Now, I am Jeff's golf coach.
Says it all.
Pretty much wraps that up. Only work with what I'm dealing with there, though. The talent at hand. And we played some golf before.
Yeah.
How's your golf game? I know you joke about a par 10 for you, but it's not that bad.
No. But I've only played scrambles this summer. With the baby, I just haven't had time to get out as much as I used to, and it's probably for the best. When I get out too much, I start overthinking things, and it gets bad. I just need to grip it and rip it.
Just grip
John
it.
Daly.
Stop thinking so much. How many times I got to tell you?
Doug, you're an amazing coach, and that's what you've taught me, and I'm trying to get better about it.
Please do not call me for lessons. I do not want to give any more lessons. We're going to touch a little bit on some Sunday NFL picks. We're going to incorporate that into our shows on Friday, so don't miss out on those hot tips. We do have Jeff Bach, the Hooters champion that was powered by DraftKings, in the house to give us a little insight and knowledge on maybe some college games, but definitely we'll touch on NFL. You and I have been going back and forth about Harbaugh at Michigan. I don't like Michigan. I have no love for Michigan. Then they pick Harbaugh up. This guy pulls his khakis up to his shoulders. I mean, I don't even think he's got a shirt on half the time. He's pasty white.
Pasty.
But he can coach.
He's an excellent coach. Very fortunate that my alma mater was able to get him, because I'm telling you, it was a slide for a while. I mean, after Lloyd left, it was about 10 years in the wilderness. So, very excited to have him.
So, the big house, you like going up there?
Oh, very much. I graduated in 2002, and I went to a football game every year until last year was the first time I had missed a game in the big house. So,
what happened?
Wife, pregnant, obligations, responsibilities. All the stuff that I tried to avoid all my life, and I'm just failing miserably as usual.
It got you.
Yep, they always do.
I think Harbaugh, in a short amount of time, I thought once he got hired on, it was going to be about 3-4 years until they get into single digit. What are they ranked? 5th, 6th right now?
4 right now.
Oh, who's keeping count?
I'm not checking. Just a guess.
Bear with me, people. So, big game this weekend, though.
Yeah, Penn State.
So, didn't someone, Paterno, he's getting an award or something in his honor, right?
Well, this one's at Michigan. I think that was last week.
Last week, all right.
That was the controversy, because if they tried to give him an award on an away game, I can't imagine that'd go very well.
Yeah, especially at Michigan.
Any place, really.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, you're probably right on that. Boy, so Jeff Bach, attorney at law, personal injury. Let's say I'm driving down here to the studio. I'm amped up. This like a pot of coffee right there. So, get in a car wreck, someone rear ends me, let's say.
Sure.
Not only do I spill hot coffee all over myself, what if I got kids in the car? What do I do besides my first instinct, which is run? That's my first thing. Then I'm like, I don't want to get tasered. I don't have time for that on Friday.
But if the good news is if you can run, you might not be that injured. So let's hope that you at least have the ability to run, right? So obviously, I know people don't believe this because, there's certain opinions about attorneys, but I honestly would prefer that no accidents happen, that people weren't injured, but it's a fact of life that they're going to be, right? So the first question is whether or not you need an ambulance. Now, obviously, if you feel you need an ambulance, you should take an ambulance, but keep in mind that most of the time it's just an expensive ride to the hospital. If the car is drivable or you're in, somebody is in good enough shape to drive you there, I mean, most of the time that's usually okay. Again, if you need an ambulance, you should take one. But once you get somewhere, you get the treatment you need and go to the emergency room, follow up with your family doctor or follow up whatever instructions they give you. And then the next question becomes, well, what do I do with these medical bills? I mean, if you're fortunate enough to have health insurance.
I pitch them.
Well, yeah. I mean, you ignore them and you go and they go away like your teeth, right? I mean, that's what I
don't answer the phone in a few months. Move,
and then they can't find you. You win again. Doug Pinter, winner, right? Kind of rhymed, but so. After that, you get the medical bills, and you think, what do I do with the medical bills? Well, most people don't know that on your own car insurance, you have a provision that's called medical payments coverage that will pay up to a certain amount of your bills. A lot of people have $5,000. I've seen $1,000. I've seen up to $25,000. And your own insurance company will pay the bills until you can settle with the other party's insurance company, because what will happen is if you don't pay them, the other insurance company won't pay anything until the very end when you're totally done treating. And if that takes a while, then the bills are out there and the medical providers want to be paid, and it's messing with your credit and
I mean, what if you don't have the money in the bank? Let's say you're in ICU for a week, you had to have surgery. I mean, and you're not getting paid out until the very end. That would destroy your credit.
It's not good. It's not good. So again, most people don't know that you can make a claim under your own policy, and then you're obligated to pay them back. So it doesn't. My understanding is it doesn't affect your insurance rates because they get paid back. But again, that's something that we're very good at. A lot of people think, when I'm in an accident, I don't want to pay an attorney to handle something I can handle. But the truth is just the administrative part of it, sending paper here, sending paper there, setting up a claim, giving information, filling out forms. I mean, it's what we all look forward to every day, It's what I get up. Of course.
I love it when you get a form and there's like 30 pages to fill out, all the same questions, just asked a different way.
And then, each provider probably wants that too. And then, your insurance company wants one. And I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
If I hear you right, you can make a claim against your own insurance. In essence, they're fronting the money to pay the bills, keep your credit in good standing, and then they'll go after the other insurance. What if this other driver doesn't have insurance?
An excellent question. So
Thank you. I was up pondering what question to follow up with, and that's what I came up with.
I saw the light bulb go on, Doug, and I'm impressed. Very impressed. So everybody, when you have insurance, I think this is almost a mandatory thing, but you have your own insurance limit. So a typical insurance limit would be like $50,000 per person, $100,000 per accident, $100,000 per person, $300,000 per accident, and those just refer to injury limits. So property damage is totally separate. But again, if you're in an accident, as you said, with 3 kids in the car, if it's $100,000 per person, $300,000 per accident, pretty straightforward. No one person can get more than $100,000, and if there's 4 people in the car, there's only $300,000 total in coverage, right? Yep. So everybody, your own limits determine what your uninsured, underinsured limits are. So in the scenario you're talking about, somebody rear ends you and then they don't have insurance. Well, your own insurance will provide insurance for you because that's one of the coverages that you pay for every month is uninsured, underinsured. And so just the same way if they had lower limits, like the state minimum's $25.50, if they had $25,000, $50,000, you have $100,000 medical bills, well, your own insurance will step in there. So that's underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage. You make a claim against your own insurance, and again, that's why we have insurance.
Takes care of my next question about what happens if that person doesn't have insurance. Moving down my list of questions here, Jeff.
We're going too fast, Doug. I'm sorry. I'll try to elaborate more.
Yeah, I only got so many notes. This has got to last us a half-hour show. We're already into it. 10 minutes. Well, this is all I had. Look, my daughter's sick. I'm running around the house. I'm trying to prep for the show this morning. I'm sure plenty of you can relate out there. You got craziness going on. So thanks for tuning in to Daily Energy. Doug Pinter with Anytime Fitness. Jeff Bach, our attorney at law. We just covered a little bit about the personal injury. We're going to get back to that. I want to break this up, talk a little bit. I dusted off my Cubs shirt.
Looking good.
I found this thing in my closet,
Nice.
and then I found 2 jerseys. Sosa, I'm not sure I can wear that. Can I wear that?
Yeah.
And then who was the left fielder that always jumped and would drop the ball? Soriano?
Yeah.
I got that one.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, those are my jerseys. I can't wear either of those, can I?
Your jersey game, mwah, kiss his fingers. I mean, just beautiful.
Well, I mean, honestly, one, I don't want to jinx Cubs by buying someone's jersey like Chris Bryant, and then he breaks his leg next game. That's on me.
You've got a lot of power.
Then I'm that guy.
You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, no.
You don't want to be
that guy.
that
No one
guy.
wants to be that guy.
No.
Let's talk a little bit. We got Cubs are obviously in the playoffs. Then we got Washington Dodgers. They're leading their division. Mets and San Fran. Mets last night came back and won, hit a 3-run homer. Now, a couple nights ago, did you see where one of the guys for the Mets got robbed of a home run?
Yeah, that was
in
cool.
the 9th inning?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. So last night, they get the job.
Cespedes, right? That's their guy.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, it took
Huge
me a minute.
dude.
Yep.
Heck of an arm.
Yeah. Cannon.
Yeah, he was
Just
a
a
right
cannon.
fielder, isn't he?
Yep.
I saw earlier this season he was on the warning track, threw it to home plate. It was a short one hop, got the guy.
I bet. That's gross.
I'd have to pick my arm up off the ground afterwards. So we got Washington, Cubs, Dodgers leading the division. Then we got Mets and San Fran in the lead for the wild card. And here's what I love for all you Cardinal fans out there. 3-game series starting with the Cubs this afternoon.
It's not good.
I think it's like a 120 ball game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So,
you're exactly right.
Man, I don't want to root against the Cardinals, but I would not be upset if the Cubs kind of help push them back. I do not want to play the Cardinals in the playoffs.
Doug, I don't think there's anything wrong with rooting against the Cardinals. I mean, that is the Cubs' traditional rival. So
I know, but I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
We all run into that arrogant person. I mean, I've actually rooted for the Cardinals when they were in the playoffs before, but
It's a generous man.
When the Cubs are against Cardinals, it's
obviously it's
one-sided. My niece Maisie, first thing she ever says to me before "Hi, Uncle Doug" is "Boo Cubs, they stink." So she's off my Christmas list. Sorry, Maisie. All right, so we got St. Louis as a half game back over in the AL. We got Boston. They're playing good ball. Cleveland. I didn't even know Cleveland was leading their division. Isn't Zach McAllister, local boy?
Yeah,
He's
that's
a shutdown man out in Cleveland. I know Jeff Griffin here at Chamber, huge fan of Cleveland, where he's from. Then Texas is up there.
Yep.
Then we got Toronto and Detroit battling for that wild card game. And just for all you loser Sox fans, whoops, I said that out loud. For all you Sox fans, you're only 10 games out with 9 games left in the season, so good luck. Do the math. You can't get there. All right, we're going to talk a little bit. You like this? Are you having fun this morning, buddy?
That's a good time.
Oh, man. Jeff Bach, Hooters champion fantasy football powered by DraftKings. Hit this guy up for some knowledge. If you got questions about fantasy football, hit us up right now. You can email the show at dailyenergy309@yahoo.com. You can call into the studio. We're streaming live on Facebook at peoria.life. Mike, how you doing over there this morning? Mike is our silent assassin behind the scenes. He gets everything set up. Mike, you're doing a great job. Thanks for all your help here this morning. So here's something. Oh, you got some. Oh, okay. We got some messages coming in. Keep it polite. It's Friday, people. Come on. Fall is upon us. Everyone should be in a good mood, right?
Apparently not Jake Turner. Raymond James. Apparently not Jake Turner.
Oh, he's one of our go-to professionals here on our show.
That's brand synergy, Doug.
Oh, here he is.
Yep.
Hey, all right. So everyone out there listening, yes, you too, Jake Turner. If you want to email dailyenergy309@yahoo.com, you can vote for an outfit that you would like to see my guest and I. It's got to be a duo. All right, I'm not flying solo on this. A duo outfit for Halloween, for our Halloween show. It's going to be spooktacular, Jeff.
Whoa.
I mean, you probably never heard that before, but it's going to be spooktacular.
I love some wordplay.
Yeah,
I love some wordplay.
There you go. So everyone, you got about 4 weeks to get the request in, and we'll see what we can come up with. So you'll definitely want to make sure to tune into that show.
Are there any choices right now, or is it's right in?
It's wide open. I
Wow.
mean, so dailyenergy309 at yahoo.com, or you can comment on our show that's streaming live, peoria.life. Check it out. Let us know. Let's see. So we got Mike. What do we got? We got feedback coming in already? No, you all right? Okay. Let's see here. We covered that. So back to a little bit about that personal injury. So we talked about a little bit about coverage and how to go about with Jeff Bach, Bach attorney. You always say get documentation of everything. Don't rely on your memory. In 2-3 months, you get some pains. Like, well, be proactive. Correct?
Absolutely. No, that's a great point. It's one thing, at the end, and I don't mean at the end, but, when you finish treating, there's always, this is how I remember it. But, truthfully, we look at the medical records for a lot of that stuff. So, yeah, you always want to be clear with your doctor about what you're experiencing as far as pains, aches, things you can and can't do. Then you always want to make sure that you at least make it clear that this is stuff that's all related to the accident, right? I mean, we're both, young and in the prime of our lives, obviously, but still, when I wake up some days, I don't feel the best, right? But you want to make sure you want to separate that from anything you're experiencing from the accident. If you never had neck pain before and now you have neck pain, make sure that that's clear. If you used to be able to, pick your grandson up or pick your son up and carry him around the house and now you can't because your neck hurts so bad, make that clear too. I mean, the more stuff that's documented in these medical records, it just gives us, more to go on.
And we're not trying to tell everyone to go sue everybody, but get the documentation. I mean, if you're not at fault with the car accident, why should you pay down the road for someone else's mistake? I mean, go get some advice. Seek out the professionals. We use this analogy all the time. If you're getting your oil changed, you take it into a car shop. They know how to change your oil and what to look for. If it were me, I don't even know how to empty the oil out of my car. I mean, there, I said it.
What's oil?
There you
Exactly.
Okay, so you're in the same boat.
Yep.
It's go to the trusted professionals who know the paperwork that you got to fill out, and all that paperwork is just cumbersome and monotonous, so give it to Jeff.
And Doug, that brings up an excellent point. This is all these cases we're talking about here are free consultation. You bring the documents in, and I'll give you my honest opinion. And if it's not something that I think is worth pursuing, spending your time on, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And if it is, then we'll hopefully figure out a relationship going forward. And yeah.
And I've been in your office. You make it real simple. Updated the will. We had some other things to cover. Very simple process in and out. All your staff's great. So go down and see my buddy Jeff Bach, Bach attorney at law, 4th floor on the Jansen building, right?
You know it.
What a view.
But you got to be careful. See, I always tell people that, they got to go in the right door, the door on Jefferson Street where you'd go in for Jim's Steakhouse. Otherwise, the landlord might, take him for himself,
Yep.
Hey, you've got an injury. I'm Jay Jansen. I can handle this, right? And then you just, you get starstruck. You just, oh, what? Jay Jansen? Oh, my God. And then, my clients don't even show up anymore. So that's what, I just got to emphasize. You got to come in the doors on Jefferson Street.
I got you. All right. Let's shift gears again. We
do
talked a little bit about baseball. We got about 10 minutes left. We got some, we want to give you some picks for the weekend. Jake Turner getting back to us there, Raymond James. Here's a couple games that I think are locks, that are no-brainers. You're going to you're going to lay all the points in these games. But I think Miami over Cleveland, Miami at home. Their defense is a little bit better than what everyone says. I started following Miami because a good buddy of mine, Dan, is a real huge Dolphins fan. You'll know Dan. If you drive out on a Sunday and you see someone mowing their yard in a Dolphins jersey and Dolphin shorts, Dolphin shoes, that's Dan. That's my buddy Dan.
Sir.
So I would take Miami minus the 10. What's your thoughts on that? Against Cleveland.
No, certainly with a third string quarterback and being at home, you would sure think that Miami's like the stone cold lock of the week. But I'm telling you, man, predicting NFL games is tough.
Well, here we go. All right,
we're doing it.
We're starting this.
Doing it.
Mike, can I get a pad of paper and I already have a pen. But I'm going to take on all my guests every week now through the end of the season. No pressure, but you got to pick 3 games this week.
Are you picking the games we pick, or do I pick the games we pick?
You pick,
okay.
I pick.
Okay.
How about that? Thanks,
Fair
Mike.
enough.
All right. So I got Miami minus 10. All right. I'll let you get on whatever site or whatever you're going to do, but I'll finish running through my picks.
All right.
All right. Minnesota at Carolina. Minnesota, AP's out. I mean, what did he play? 2 games, total of maybe 100 yards. What happened to that guy? Do you know?
Torn meniscus, bucket handle tear.
There you
4
go.
to 6 month recovery time.
It sounds like you're stalking him. I was just asking for an injury report, and I mean, what's his address? Never mind.
Exactly.
I'm going to take Carolina minus the 7 points.
All right.
Now, here's a game I think will draw a lot of attention is Pittsburgh at Philly.
Right.
Pitt on the road minus 3.5. I think Steelers really have a legit shot at getting to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Roethlisberger's playing a hell of a season.
Makes sense.
Running back, once Le'Veon Bell comes back, who's going to stop him?
No one.
No one? All right. I'm going to pass on the Pittsburgh-Philly game, though.
Ooh.
It scares me. It's in Philly. Philly's kind of rough. I mean, and Philly's pretty good this year.
I was going to say that Wentz guy looks solid, man. We all saw him on Monday Night Football. I mean, I'm not sure beating the Bears secondary is telling you that much, but he looked pretty good.
Great segue. Here's my final pick of the week. We got Chicago at Dallas. I don't think Chicago stands a chance. Dallas minus 7. I got them all day at minus 7. Sunday night game, so get ready to go to bed by halftime. I think Dallas will be up 24-6, maybe 24-7 at half. So I got Miami minus 10, Carolina minus 7, Dallas minus 7. All right, you done thumbing through this here? Now, what do you got,
Doug? My first choice is going to be. I really am always. I'm always looking for the, travel edge or the kind of, what people think is going to happen, and maybe it's not.
Oh man, the suspense is killing us.
I know. Arizona, Buffalo. So Arizona is minus 3.5. I'm going to take Buffalo on the points.
I like that.
Buffalo's at home. Arizona's got to come, all the way from Phoenix, all the way across the country.
Is that how that works?
Game. Well, I mean, maybe they just stayed somewhere else. They were in Phoenix last week, but I mean, maybe they drove like Madden. They just got right on the bus, just drove.
Come on, guys, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
I like Buffalo at home.
Yeah,
now you got 2 more games to pick.
I know.
You can't just pick one. I mean, anyone can do that.
No, that's fair. And I'll kind of makes my stomach turn to say this, but I think I'm going to take Green Bay minus the 7 to get right this week against Detroit.
What?
Yeah,
Green Bay minus 7.
I know.
Well, for all of the other individuals on my show, you're going to start off behind the 8-ball 0-3 after these horrific picks. So you got Buffalo plus 3.5, Green Bay minus 7.
Green Bay minus 7.
And the final pick of the week.
And
now, everybody, this is Jeff Bach. He won DraftKings, the Hooters event. You won thousands of dollars. I beat him like a baby seal last week in our fantasy draft. You're welcome for throwing that out there. I'm 2-0. I spanked him last week. And his final pick is...
All right, and then Doug, sticking with my theory, I'm going to take Tennessee minus the 2 at home against Oakland, who's also got to go all the way across the country.
That's a horrible pick.
Thank you.
That's a horrible pick.
I appreciate
Have you watched any of... What's the line, 2?
Yeah, 2.
Tennessee minus 2. Have you watched any of Oakland's games?
Yeah, they've got a really good offense, but their defense is atrocious.
So who on Tennessee is going to do all the scoring?
Oh, Mariota.
Their running back?
Mariota's going to get in there, get in the end zone probably 7 times, maybe 8. He's just going to keep running touchdowns down the field. It's going to be like an Oregon game. It's going to be so much fun, Doug.
I mean, your street cred's just dropping.
You're going to be taking that fresh Cubs hat off your head when you're watching that game and throwing it on the ground and say, gosh darn it, Bach.
Let's do this. All right, so we got 3 games.
All right.
Let's make one game worth 2
picks.
How about that?
So the Stone Cold lock of the week,
4 points on the line.
All right.
I'll go first. My lock of the week, Carolina.
Ooh, the Stone Cold lock of the week.
Who do you got? You got Buffalo plus 3.5, Green Bay laying 7, Tennessee minus 2. Come on.
I got to get those. I got to take that 3.5 at home for Buffalo. It's Stone Cold lock of the week.
Stone Cold bust of the week. What time is that game? Because you better be near your phone. I'm going to be blowing you up on that. All right, 4 possible points. Can't wait to cover this next week when we get back in studio. So tell me, are you going to go after Brad Pitt now that he's single?
Thinking about it. I mean, I've got his number on speed dial, but I just can't. Every time I hit and I'm like, I should probably give him a few more days.
Give him a few more days.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Be
Let him watch
respectful
a
about it.
sappy movie, get his stuff together. That's unfortunate in all seriousness, but
Do I want to be the rebound, or do I want to? Am I trying to lock it down long term?
plus, yeah.
Long term.
Lots of things to consider. Let's talk a little bit about health and wellness since this is a Daily Energy health and wellness show. How's your biking coming along? I know you bike all the time.
I try to, yeah. It's been so hot. I haven't been able to get on the trail as much as I would have liked, but yeah, I'm looking forward to when it cools down in the fall, like really getting out there. And the personal goal I've set for myself is to do 1 week, 100 miles in 1 week.
Have you hit it yet?
No, so back in like May, I did this 40-mile ride on the trail, and I was like dying coming home, and I had done 50 already, so I was like at 90 on Friday, and it was like, oh, I can do this 100-mile thing anytime I want to, and Doug, it just slipped away from me.
Really?
The whole summer, just like water, like sands through the hourglass, that kind of stuff. I mean, so anyway, that's what I want to do this fall is try to get 100 miles in 1 week.
Here's the thing I don't like about fall biking.
Lay it on me.
Yeah, the leaves hide all those little potholes.
Yeah, that's true.
And I got to teach you some etiquette. Like when someone waves to you on the path, you wave back. That's it. Like you mean mug me every time I pass you. Next time, I'm going to get one of them spikes on the side of the bike and run you off.
Well, I got the oil slick that I'm going to be laying down on you, so you're going to be in trouble too.
So if anyone's out on the path, if you see two guys messing around, that'd be us. So the other thing I don't care for in the fall is I'll lay a good time out, then I turn around and I realize the whole way is back into the wind.
Oh, I know. The wind is.
Am I the only one like runners as well? When you go for a run, I always mean to check the wind, but then I get into it and I'm like, which way's the wind going?
But then I will check the wind, and then I'll get on the trail and I'll be like, that's not blowing the way that it's supposed to blow. Like,
so I'm not the only one. All right, if you've been out on the trail and you're heading out towards Princeville and the wind's out of the east, at your back all the way, and then you turn around and then it does flip-flop quite a bit.
Well, the nice thing is the trail is usually, the trees around the trail usually shelters it so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But with the Peoria part, where it's paved, the stretch between Route 6 and Pioneer Parkway, man, it howls. It gets at you.
Well,
howls.
Howls.
Just howls.
Word of the day, howls. Try to fit that into one of your sentences. Here's the deal. I'm going to challenge you. We got about a minute and a half left. Minute and a half left. I'll try to bike 100 miles in 1 week before you do. And you can't, there's no lying about this, all right?
Doug, I've got an app, buddy.
You got an app?
I got an app.
What app is it?
The Strava app.
Strava, I better write this down. There's no way I'm remembering that Strava.
See, here's my, when did I do that? A 15-mile ride out the trail.
15 miles, 4.5 hours.
Yeah, no, that was a slow one. 12 miles an hour is not very fast. It's kind of sad, but that's okay.
15 I pulled 12 mile an hour on my little.
Your Huffy.
My 3-wheel. Yeah, do burnouts in the driveway on when I was a kid. You remember that, right?
Obviously. The big wheel. The big wheel. Yeah,
front tire wears a hole. We'd put rocks in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Make the back end a little looser. Almost like you're hitting that oil spill.
Get the baseball card in the spokes. That's what really slows me down a little bit, but it sounds so cool.
It does. Then my son came home the other night, crushed a can, put it on the back tire, wedged it in there, made it sound like a motor. Man, the good old days.
Ingenuity.
This is Jeff Bach, Bach attorney at law. We covered a little bit about personal injury. If you do get in a car wreck, goodness, we hope that never happens, but you can never predict the unpredictable. If you do, make sure you reach out to our trusted friend. He'll meet with you, free consultation, bring your paperwork in, visit with him. He'll tell you what to do, what not to do, to protect you and your family down the road. So, hey, man, I hope you travel safe up to Chicago. We got our picks of the week. They're going to be up on Daily Energy Facebook by the end of today. And we want to thank everyone for joining us. Jeff Bach, Bach attorney at law. Doug Pinter with Anytime Fitness North Peoria on Daily Energy. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks, Doug. Julius Thomas for Jake Turner and Raymond James. You probably didn't get that, but that's